Hello everyone, this video is part of Az104 Microsoft Azure Administrator Training. For the complete course, please check the link in the description of this video. Okay, we have discussed that self-service password reset can be implemented and in classic Active Directory with password writeback. Azure AD Connect will help you maintain the sync between cloud and on-premise Active Directory. This service was designed for hybrid scenarios, and the objectives of this tool is to password hash synchronization of a user's on-premise Active Directory password with Azure AD, password-proof authentication that allow you to use the same password on-premise and in the cloud, federation integration used to configure a hybrid environment using an on-premise Active Directory federation service infrastructure, synchronization when new users, groups, and other objects are created, and health monitoring will report you in case if some objects are not synchronized, and several benefits of Azure AD Connect that will offer you great experience and flexibility, like enhanced security, get alerted on all critical IDFS system issues, easy to deploy and manage, rich usage metrics, and great user experience. Some of you guys may know that before AD Connect was DirSync and AD Sync. Now these two services were replaced by Azure AD Connect, and integrating your on-premise directories with Azure AD makes your user more productive by providing a common identity for accessing both cloud and on-premise resources. And of course, this move will offer you advantages that I already said. So let's switch to a demo how to install and configure Azure AD Connect. To configure Azure AD Connect, choose Azure Active Directory, click on Azure AD Connect tab, and download AD Connect installer. Run the installer, accept agreement, and continue. Choose custom settings, installation of Azure AD Connect, and here the required components that need to be installed. I will leave this default and will install all the required components. After installing the component, you will be asked to select the sign in method. For this demo, I will choose password hash synchronization, and we'll go next to connect to Azure Active Directory. On this step, you'll need an Azure account that has a role as global administrator. Then we need to connect to the on-premise Active Directory as well with the main account that is a member of Enterprise Admins. On this page, you will review the UPn's domains presented in on-premise ID and which have been verified in Azure AD. So make sure to add the custom domain in Azure AD and vice versa. Depending on your scenarios, users may not be able to log in with credentials from one infrastructure to another. On this page, you are gonna configure organization unit synchronization. By default, all domains and organization units are synchronized. If there are some organization units you don't want to synchronize to Azure AD, so you can unselect these domains. We'll leave default settings and click next. Here you will need to select how users should be identified in your on-premise directories. For example, to use email attribute or same account name. Next step is to choose what to sync in the cloud based on groups. The best approach of this option is to create a group in on-premise ID and in on-premise Active Directory and add the objects to this group or groups that should be synchronized to Azure AD. And the last tab, optional features, will also add password writeback, which allows to synchronize password that was changed in Azure AD back to on-premise Active Directory. And the last step is to validate your configuration and install it. This will take more than 10 minutes, depending on the amount of objects that need to be synchronized with Azure AD. If we go back to Azure AD, we can see that sync status is enabled and last sync was less than 1 hour. Okay, this was a basic demo on how to install Azure AD Connect. As you can see, I'm not using a production environment to show you all details, but hope this was enough to understand how actually Azure AD Connect can be configured. Thank you for watching, and let's move to the next topic.